Just one more minute, we'll go live right at 6:15. Let's get a shot of that really cool meditation video going on there as well. Hey, Donna. All right, it's 6:15. So in honor of those of you who have jumped right on the call, right on time, let's just take a moment to be still and know it may be very cold outside, but it's warm in our hearts, and we can think warm and happy thoughts and send them to each other, and it really does make a difference. It matters. All of it matters. Every thought, every prayer, every wish. There's power in it. And it's so easy to forget when you're cold. Whether it's cold weather or coldness in your heart, or doubts or worries, or any of those things that creep up and get in the way of being the authentic child of God we are, that we truly are. And I think we're going to have a nice little group of folks on tonight, because it occurred to me, well, normally Saturday evening has not been a terribly successful night to do my Facebook Live. I realized tonight's a little different, because nobody's wanting to go out anywhere for the most part, all over the country. It's just cold, or it's snowy or icy, and folks just want to be in where it's warm. So hopefully we can offer that safe and warm place. And I'm seeing all kinds of old friends popping on here. And what a thrill. Hey guys, thanks for being with us. I am using an iPhone to do this because it seems to be one of the most efficient of the devices. That's the good news. The bad news is that it's a little bit harder to monitor comments and questions and stuff that might come in. So if I miss something that you may have asked or said, feel free to bring it up again, or raise your hand, or whatever it is that whatever the tools are on your end that would allow for that. But I just do want to go ahead and throw out there, if anybody has anything weighing on your heart, to feel free to share it here, whether it's something generic or it is something specific. Know too that if you feel self-conscious or uncomfortable in any way about sharing this in a room with several people watching and taking part, that's okay. I absolutely respect that. I will let you know, having seen everyone who's on here so far, that this is a safe place to express any concerns or prayer requests. You are absolutely in sacred space here, and I trust anybody and everybody on this call to respect your privacy and just join us in this consciousness. But you are also welcome to message me privately, and I may not see that private message right now. It might have to be after this call ends, but know that that I do spend time with those outreaches. And sometimes it involves follow-up or a direct phone call or an email or a one-on-one prayer session. And I value that time, and I honor that time and that opportunity to serve. First of all, I just want to ask just a little bit of feedback. I did forget to suit up with, normally I wear a little lavalier microphone. So is the sound okay? Are you hearing me okay? Because I could make a quick adjustment and use a lavalier mic, but any feedback on that? Are you hearing me okay? Is that a thumbs up? Okay. Thanks for that feedback. That would be a shame if people are just like watching my mouth move. Mary, yay. All right, thank you, cute little blonde chick. Thanks, Donna. Great, okay. That would be very sad to just be like, have people see me going. And this would be all for nothing, except maybe a few laughs, right? Prayer for my health. I have been sick all week. Better, but not still completely well. Well, yeah, I've heard a lot of that from folks. And it is temporary, Melissa. We know this. It is temporary. All is well for you. And so I join in everyone on this call in surrounding you with right and perfect health, lots of love, and we know that you're going to be feeling better in no time. And I will look forward to a message from you in a couple of days that says, wow, that worked great. I'm feeling wonderful. And so it is. Done deal. It is just as simple as that, isn't it? Oh, if only it were with everything. But that's an aside. That is an aside. Oh man, what a treat to see some of these folks jumping in on here. This is so great. I'm thrilled. Do you hear the music in the background? Okay, on this video, by the way. I just jumped on YouTube and I typed in meditation music. And in this case, it had some beautiful scenery going by. And I thought, oh yeah, that's a mood setter. I like that. I thought about calling up like Atlanta rush hour traffic and having that video going, but I didn't think it'd work as well for this call. I just didn't think that would be advantageous. So yeah, this is a better choice, I think. Hi, Marilee. I'm so happy to see you here. Thank you for jumping on with us. You are welcome, Melissa, and I'm knowing it's true. Yeah, it's been that bitter, nasty cold. It's just been a lot of stuff, a lot of funk, and honestly, speaking on my personal level, I have physically felt pretty well, despite my recent. A lot of you know I've had a recent diagnosis for diabetes, which was not a whole lot of fun, and but this cold and all this snow has kind of messed with my mood a little bit. I'm just don't do well with the cold, and I'm ready for some sunshine and some warmth and greenery again. And I know it hasn't been long. Gosh, I grew up in New England, so I'm not a stranger to snow and ice and cold by any means. But I am so over it already. You get it, Mary, right? And yes, that music really it's a treat. This was one of the first things that came up when I called it up. So I'm really happy with this choice, and I'll be using this again in the future. Speaking of the future, I'm going to be doing a lot more of this because it feeds my soul. It really does. I have been missing going to gatherings. I've been missing being in the physical presence of so many of you. Often we will go as far as Chattanooga to go to church, or Nashville. There's a couple of places. Unity of Nashville there. There's Center for Spiritual Living Nashville. And it's an hour and a half. That's kind of the minimum drive time that we have to go to a spiritual community that truly feels like home. Oh, tell me more, Debbie. Warm weather coming. Thursday, 62 degrees. Yes! Ask and you shall receive. See, even just thinking about it coming makes me feel warmer. Yeah, I've missed having a spiritual home. I hear that. I totally get that. And you, thankfully, live near some really good ones. Really, really good ones. And so my recommendation, Mary, is that you venture out on Sunday mornings and see which ones feel right. There are a few where you are, and with great music and great messages and really loving, welcoming people. So bless them with your presence. Seek to serve. Seek to serve. Just do that prayer that Wayne Dyer taught me, and I've been using it now for 20 years. In every circumstance, ask, how may I serve? How may I serve? I do it before every talk I give. I do it, well, I did it tonight before I fired up this video. How may I serve? And the goal is always to touch even just one person. And that's what my whole spiritual people skills ministry is about, is that when we serve each other, when we serve our fellow man, when we seek to bring love and light into a situation, we also lighten our own situation. We lighten our own load. We warm our own lives. We are serving our Creator, and it is our Father's or Mother's great pleasure to give us the kingdom. That was a mouthful, wasn't it? It's this circle of unending goodness. Seek to serve. How may I serve? How may I bring love or light into this situation? And the opportunities present themselves like gifts before you. So I'll lift up for tomorrow morning. Yay, Andrew, thank you. Thank you, brother, I appreciate it. A talented guy right there who got into music by coming to a little piano store in Auburn, Massachusetts, and it changed his life. And because it changed his life, he provides beautiful music, thereby changing other lives. And there it is again, that circle of goodness, this ongoing thing. Are you serving? Are you on the worship team playing tomorrow, Andrew? I think you were. I think last time we spoke that you were part of that as well on your Sunday mornings. So I hope that that's the case. So we surrounded, just had my tripod fall over just a bit. Sorry about that. So we surrounded Melissa with healing thoughts and knowing that her health will be well. We know Mary is missing a spiritual home and is about to find more than one where she will eagerly walk in the doors and be surrounded by the love and the connection and all. We know that Andrew is getting ready for a really special morning tomorrow in his own worship setting, getting set up here this evening. And you all have brought me joy by just being here, just being part of my tribe. And I want you to know how grateful I am for you and for that. You're the reason that I do this. And it, as I said earlier, feeds my soul. And when my soul is feeling just full and had just a wonderful, great meal, I just want to give more and more and more. Because in giving, we get. And oh man, it's this great cycle. I love it. I'm grateful for it. So if we have any other concerns, worries, doubts, and you don't have to be specific either. There could be something just, if you could just hold me in prayer, or just, I've got something going on next week, and if you could all think about me on Tuesday morning, that works too. Because we will join you, and we will send you that energy. Between us, and some of you may hang up now and just leave this call because you'll be like, oh, this guy's really weird. He's a freak. And I'm good with that because I surround myself with freaks and weirdos, so welcome to my world. Okay. So there is no such thing as time. There's no such thing as distance. It is all an illusion. I'm reading this, Mary. I see it. I hear it and I feel it and I understand it. I want peace. Isn't that interesting? Mary, I got to share with you. Some years ago, I was... the backstory to it, it doesn't matter. But I was in a place where I was just seeking, desperately seeking some holes that needed to be filled in my life. And 3 words came to me over and over again. The 3 words were peace. I'm not kidding you. Peace, abundance, and bliss. Peace, abundance, bliss. And I finally just wanted to remember that, and I just remembered P-A-B, peace, abundance, bliss, P-A-B. And as I got to know my now wife, who was at the time that all this was going on was just my dear friend, I learned that both of her parents have the same initials, Paul Berghoffen and Phoebe Berghoffen, Paul Allen Berghoffen, and Phoebe American Berghoffen. Yeah, you can't make this shit up, okay? And yes, it is ministerial to say shit sometimes. So there, you can't make this shit up. They were both initialed P-A-B, and they brought their lovely daughter to my life. And you all know how that turned out. Peace, abundance, and bliss. So Mary, I am wishing P-A-B for you, my friend, because without the peace, the abundance is meaningless. Without the bliss, it's meaningless. They are all kind of, well, they're like a tripod, right? My phone is sitting on a tripod right here. If one of the legs went out, it would fall over. So we want the peace, abundance, and bliss makes a perfect tripod and foundation for our lives. And I'm so glad you are receiving that, Mary. Peace, abundance, and bliss is about to present itself to you. And I love how you said, I receive that. Everyone, take note of that. How important that is. I receive that. I accept that gift. Gosh, can you imagine? You're on your way to somebody's home to visit, right? and you stop off at a gift store and you find something really, really special that you feel that friend would really love, and you wrap it in a beautiful ribbon and bow and everything, and you walk in and you say, here, I love you so much, I want you to have this. And they just set it down and say, oh, thanks, yeah, okay, I'll think about checking that out later. And then they get chit-chatting and your visit ends and they never opened the gift and they never even so much as said thank you. They didn't really receive what you brought. Now, Mary just received the gift she knows is coming, and she accepted it and received it before the evidence of it actually being. And that is how prayer works. You put out what you need. You humble yourself enough to say, I really want to be this, or I want to accomplish that, or I want to get over this. And you don't just plead as though God were Santa Claus in the sky. You put out what you want, and you know that this is yours, and you know that it is done, and you receive it. Sometimes the gift looks a little bit different than you thought it would. Maybe the bow was tied a little differently, or the color of the wrapping was different, or you open the whole thing and it was a completely different gift. But it is no less of a gift, and it will be exactly what you need. Not always what you want, but it will always be exactly what you need. And I knew that I needed peace, abundance, and bliss. And I found that. Mary, thank you for that lesson for me this evening. That was wonderful. I hope everyone is taking note of what you've written here. Everybody, if you don't take anything else away from our time here together tonight, look at Mary's wisdom here. It is absolutely a wonderful demonstration of faith. The power of the mind, the power of the heart, really, which is way more than the power of our mind would ever be. Lots of stuff going on. We had storm damage here in Cookeville, Tennessee. I got really just discouraged with this property and all the expense and the one thing after another, and trying to get it ready for a guest to come in next week who'll be staying here for about 3 months. And also I've got to be out on the road and up where it's even colder than it is here now. I'll be in Virginia for about a week, and then I'll be up in New Jersey for more than a week. But here's the thing. I am grateful in advance of those trips because they will yield me peace, abundance, and bliss. And I am grateful in advance. I know that this is all necessary, and I'm going to meet someone, maybe several someones who will be part of my life. Almost every trip that I take like this, I love when I get back to my hotel at night and I call Laurie, and I met the neatest couple today, and they were from here, and they did this, and they said that. Or, this fella had just retired, and I met him when I opened up this morning and went into the sale, and there's just always a story time and time again, there's a great story about people I've met, and they just show up. And initially, I think, they're here so I may serve them. And I'm going to do or say something that's going to make their life better. And God has a little fun with me. And they turn out to be there for me. I don't know why this is happening. Don't know exactly, but I'm not apologizing for it. Sometimes my peace and abundance and joy just leaks out my eyes, and I'm okay with that. And most of you that I love so much are okay with it too. So again, if you enter situations with the intention of serving, of bringing something to that situation, so often that table is turned and the gift is presented right back to you. So know that is true. Seek to serve. Seek to bring love to every situation. Life will bring you nothing but peace, abundance, and bliss, ultimately. Now notice, it's good, Mary, thanks. I do want to be careful to point out there isn't always peace at every moment, right? We know that. There's conflict, there's turmoil. There isn't always, apparently, abundance when you're having a tough time paying a bill, or you have a friend who needs help and you're not in a position financially or with extra time, or whatever the circumstances are. You don't feel that overflowing abundance that we know is really ours. And there are times that maybe because those first two things are not in order, you sure as heck aren't feeling very blissful. So I do recognize that there are times that one of those tripod legs, if not two or all three, are out of whack and our lives are off. It's okay, because we know the truth. We know the truth, and the truth is that our lives are anchored in this tripod of peace, abundance, and bliss. You know, a good friend of mine, a mentor of mine, said, imagine that he asked me my favorite ice cream, okay? And I just chose boring old vanilla. And he said, well, suppose, peace would be wonderful, Sue. And I don't know if you mean for the world or for you personally, but whichever it is, I don't think we could desire anything more important than that, peace. And so I join you in knowing that peace really would be wonderful. And it is obtainable. And I do want to remind you here and now that even when there is a whole lot of conflict and ugliness out in the world, and especially in a politically charged year with so many passionate disagreements about how all that should go, it is easy to feel less than peaceful. And we are only responsible for one place of peace, and that is right here. Right here. We have to go to that place of peace even when there's complete chaos around us. It's critical. And I'm not telling you it's easy. I know really well that it's not easy. But I know, way more importantly, that it's really, really necessary. You can only be responsible for your peace, your inner peace, your peace of mind, your heart, and your intentions. You can only take responsibility for that. And if you can do that, the other stuff works out. And whether you are a Christian, or you are a Jew, or you are a Taoist, or you are an atheist, or you're an agnostic, or if you're a you don't know what the hell you are, I love you, and I'm telling you, it's all the same. God is God, and he/she/it, whatever you want to throw on there as a pronoun, is going to find you and going to envelop you with love and goodness, no matter what you call it or anybody else calls it. You are a child of God, and I am here to remind you of that tonight. I thought I was going to be on this call for 5 or 10 minutes. It's been half an hour. And I don't know where it went. Yes, yeah, the weather's been rough, Beverly. I was talking about that earlier. It has messed with my mood, and it was really my big motivator in doing this call tonight, because I felt the need to be of service. And isn't it interesting that here again, when I sought to serve and I sought to bring love to a situation, you flipped the table around on me, and I ended up being served, and I ended up feeling loved, and I ended up feeling reconnected and useful. See, what we have in common here, folks, we have people of different colors, different faiths, different sexes, different likes and attitudes. And I think I started talking about ice cream earlier, which is kind of silly, and I got distracted by reading something. But a friend of mine said, you like vanilla ice cream. What if you had it every single meal, every single day, every snack? Somebody just brought you a bowl of vanilla ice cream. And now for the first couple of days, it might be good. I think after a week, it might get old. I think after a month or two, you'd have to agree that you'd be thinking, oh my God, no, not more vanilla ice cream. Are you kidding me? And the whole point of that lesson that my friend brought to me was that sometimes we need to have a little rain in our lives to really appreciate the sunshine. Sometimes the birds have to poop on the hood of your car so you can appreciate having a freshly washed and waxed car. And sometimes you need to have just heated up old leftovers that maybe weren't that good even in the first place, so that when you get that bowl of vanilla ice cream, it really tastes great. And so when we have those moments where the peace isn't as peaceful as we would have liked, and the abundance feels a little short, and the bliss is more blistery, we can just remember that we needed a reminder of how wonderful we have it. Peace, abundance, and bliss. How do we get there? Okay. Here it is. 34 minutes in. Serve. Seek to serve. I'm grateful as well, Beverly. Warm and cozy. How lucky are we? There are people that are homeless that not only aren't on this call, but, aren't in a warm home tonight. Thank God. Thank God. And seek to serve. Seek to be a bright light in someone else's life. It might be that food service worker who's not really doing a very good job and not having a good day. But you don't know how they'd been treated earlier in the day, so don't contribute to their bad day. Try to change the course. The supermarket cashier who's just not very nice and not very pleasant and clearly does not want to be there. Don't contribute to that. Don't make some snide remark. Make some warm and wonderful remark that shifts their day. Because here again, in shifting someone else's day, someone else will return that favor to you. And you get caught in the cycle of goodness. Love is the answer, Marilee, no matter the question. Always. So, I want to offer a very sincere and heartfelt thanks for the time each of you has spent on this call with me tonight. Maybe you popped in for just a moment. What's that O'Shea weirdo guy up to? And maybe you were on waiting for me to start this call right from the beginning. No matter where you are in that barometer, thank you. You motivate me, you inspire me, and truly, I'm grateful. How may I serve right now, right here and right now? Ask yourself that question. Ready? Together. How may I serve? Do it with me one more time. How may I serve? And now after this call, I want you to do it again. And then it's really important that you take the time to be still and know what is yours to do. And then do it. Do it. You'll be glad you did. The end result, Mary, peace, abundance, and bliss. Let's all just do a quick closing prayer before we go. God, thank you for the love in our lives above everything. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. You present us with these opportunities to serve, and we know that each of those opportunities is a gift, just waiting to be opened, waiting to be appreciated, waiting to remind us that we are your children, your creation. Thank you for this. We're so honored to serve. I love you right back, Beverly. Be still and know, folks. I love you. And good night.